Welcome back to news stories for August and September 2023. I'm Gil Freed, the crowd management doctor, and hopefully you were able to watch and listen to some of the stories that we had in part one. This is part two, and we're doing a part two just because there were so many stories that came out in August and September of 2023. So let's get right to the stories. The next story was an expose put out by NBC News, and it was called Friday Night Lights Under Fire. High school football games are being blitzed by gun violence. It was an NBC special aired on September 15, 2023. This season alone, so far, only 6 weeks into the academic year, there have already been at least 16 shootings, resulting in 2 deaths and 13 people wounded at games across the country, according to the K-12 School Shooting Database, which has been tracking this data since the school shooting in Parkland, Florida in 2018. There have been 2 additional incidents at high school football fields this season, one where a crowd began a stampede after someone flashed a gun, and one where gunfire ended a Pop Warner game. Carissa Niehoff, executive director of the National Federation of State High School Associations, stated, "It's been sad to watch," she said. "Horrific. It's definitely the worst I can remember in 35 years as a teacher, coach, leader in sports." Niehoff said that when her association meets with local sports administrators about boosting security at big games, football in particular, this kind of violence is the elephant in the room. She said she's grateful that so far none of these shootings have turned into mass casualty events. The story went on to cite how last year 2 Texas teenagers in a Dallas suburb had allegedly been plotting to carry out a mass shooting at an Everman high school football game, but were intercepted by police, luckily, before they got to the school. According to published records, police found an AR pistol and a 60-round magazine in their cars. What besides guns do all these incidents have in common? According to the story, insufficient security. I'm not saying that's the fact, that's just what they say for the story. On one Thursday in early September, an unspecified threat prompted officials in suburban Cleveland to play the Shaker Heights High School versus Maple High School game behind closed doors with no fans. And this is all part of the same story on NBC. Multiple students told a trusted adult that they were aware of a threat related specifically to the game. According to the Shaker Heights City School District statement, the exact nature of the threat was not disclosed. It's also very hit or miss with security screenings, the story went on to say. In one case, they had screened at the start of the game, but that was it. Thus, somebody could leave, go to their car, come back to the stadium with a gun, and they wouldn't be searched. It is a sad fact of life that many schools in America have metal detectors at doors to classroom buildings, but securing a major venue like a football stadium can be a tougher challenge, Niehoff said. Bulky airport-style metal detectors can't be easily moved from a central school door to a football stadium, she said, and there often aren't enough of these devices to cover multiple entry points at stadiums. That's why some venues are now focusing in on only having 1 or 2 entrances to make that process a little bit easier. The story went on to say in the upstate New York City of Utica, the public school district this month announced on its official Facebook page that it was beefing up security by only allowing students accompanied by a parent to attend school-sponsored sporting events. Where have we gone as a country? It's so disturbing, unfortunately. The school district made this move after a security officer was shot in the head and wounded September 9th while trying to break up a fight that broke out in a parking lot outside a Proctor High School football game. A 16-year-old who does not even attend the Proctor High School had been charged with attempted murder, criminal possession of a weapon, and other charges, according to the Utica police. To keep guns out, school officials banned backpacks and fanny packs from all district athletic events and said there would be no reentry and no admittance after halftime at high school football games. Also at Utica High School football games, all fans will file into the stadium through a single entry point where they will be required to pass through a metal detector. Then considered what happened September 1st in Louisiana when 15-year-old Jacoby Queen was fatally shot during halftime of what's called the Sugarcane Classic between the Port Allen Pelicans and their arch rival, the Brusly High Panthers. Police said Queen had walked over to a concession stand to buy a cold drink when shots rang out. Although we had extra security at the game, it ended in a tragic incident, West Baton Rouge school officials said in a statement released the day after the shooting. A 28-year-old woman was also injured in the shooting, the West Baton Rouge Sheriff Office said, and an 18-year-old named Jarreton Jackson II was later arrested in connection with the shooting. These incidents are happening all across America. The California Interscholastic Federation said all schools will now have to file an emergency action plan. This is not saying where it's only one part of the country. The article was very clear and the story was highlighting this was all across America. What California is really driving right now is their sportsmanship initiative. The lack of sportsmanship has gone out of control at many events, not just in California, but all over the U.S. We're really pushing to get everyone to be on the same page, support each other, be positive, and be there for the kids, is how that article ended. Very disturbing article, or news story, or whatever we want to call it, kind of thing, because it is the news. Next story is Electrical Zoo Festival spiraled into chaos after maximum capacity prompted fans to storm gates. In this story, the Electric Zoo Festival in New York in September 2023 reached maximum capacity due to unforeseen circumstances and did not let anyone else in for safety reasons. As a result, a crowd stormed the gates of the festival, causing even more chaos for an event that struggled to get on its feet on opening day. Around 6 p.m., security workers stopped letting people in, even those who bought tickets to the event. Some fans did not leave quietly when they got to the gate and were told their tickets wouldn't get them in. Soon after the news broke, social media videos show fans pushing their way in, rushing the gates, jumping over and crawling through a security checkpoint, then running into the festival. The situation left police helpless and unable to stop the sheer number of people rushing into the event held at Randall's Park. While the festival still went on, many of the people who bought tickets and planned to go were turned away. Fans' disappointment has been building since day one of the Electric Zoo Festival. And that was canceled, unfortunately, because the festival said it had an issue getting a main stage up because of supply chain disruption. Then day 2 started 2 hours late. Sunday was the third and final day of the festival, and the turnout was more than what they had prepared for. And so there were people with tickets, people without tickets, people with fake tickets, all sorts of different challenges. The entrance to Randall's Island from the Triborough Bridge for pedestrians and vehicles ended up being shut down. According to one witness, we just saw all of the equipment, the tent, stuff like that, being knocked down, so we didn't know what to do. It was a crazy situation. And after that, it was impossible to get to any of the sets. So after that, it was hard getting out last night. So we thought, might as well just get out of there. And that was a statement from one of the fans. The festival put out a statement around 6:30 p.m. saying in part, "It is with deep regret that we need to inform you that due to the challenges caused by Friday's cancellation, we have reached our venue's capacity earlier than anticipated for today, Sunday. For the safety and well-being of everyone on the site, we will not be admitting any additional attendees today." The statement went on to say it promised to refund their money and make it up to fans. Well, you know, that's a good start, refunding people's money, but it doesn't alleviate the concern that people have being put in that kind of situation. And the difficulty, it puts security personnel, ushers, and others into that situation. Massachusetts police are investigating the death of a Patriots fan during a game at Gillette Stadium. The death of a man during a Sunday night New England Patriots game against the Miami Dolphins is being investigated by Massachusetts State Police and a county district attorney's office, according to multiple reports. The 53-year-old was identified as Dale Mooney by the Norfolk District Attorney's Office. He was in a 300-level seating area inside Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, when he had an apparent medical event before 11 p.m., state police reportedly said. Police and firefighters responded and he was pronounced dead at Sturdy Memorial Hospital, according to the report. Police are investigating the facts and circumstances of the man's death, including the sequences of events prior to the medical incident. David Procopio, I'm having a tough time with names today, a spokesman for the state police told the Foxborough Reporter, witnesses described a fight breaking out before Mooney's death. It was really one punch that I saw, and the victim got punched really hard on the side of the head and went down. He's a bigger guy, but he just crumbled, one witness said. The witness went on to describe a brutal scene that unfolded as first responders arrived and performed compression on Mooney for 10 minutes. It was pretty heartbreaking, and the game was still going on, so the general public clearly knew what was going on in our section. So the game was going on. People are cheering for the Patriots and their comeback, and this poor guy has passed away before our eyes, the witness added. What a shame. We'll probably know more later on, but these are the sad situations that if someone attacks somebody else, you never know what the situation might be, and one punch could lead to someone dying, unfortunately, and that could lead to manslaughter charges against a fan. So fans have to be careful of what they're doing. And in this case, we don't know what led up to the fight and why someone might have punched him. The wife said he was allegedly punched 3 times. She added that she wasn't aware of her husband having any pre-existing medical conditions. But we're going to figure out more later on. But this is just an unfortunate way to end an NFL game. And this is also an unfortunate way to end the stories. Because the stories that we had, I would love for us to have fun stories, exciting stories, stories of, ushers and ticket takers and other people doing wonderful events. Unfortunately, those don't make the news. The things that make the news are death, destruction, problems. So when you go out there, try to think of making as many positive moments as possible, because the positive moments might not get the media attention, but hopefully it will help prevent some of the negative stories that we are constantly reporting on the Crowd Management Doctor. Thank you for your time, everyone. Have a safe day, a safe week, and let's all be safe out there, everyone. Take care.